Mark Greenberg.
Thank you very much for inviting me, everybody. Thanks for coming here. We have candidates up in front of me. Everybody here, they're wonderful, wonderful candidates. The fact that we can get 5 to run for this position is almost unprecedented. And I'd like to ask every candidate here to move to the 1st District and beat John Larson. To have this discussion with these fine gentlemen. And it's just wonderful. This is Republican politics again. We're going to take over this government. And let me tell you a little bit about myself. 35 years ago, I got into business in real estate in the metropolitan New York area. Started a company called Mark Greenberg Real Estate by coincidence. And what we did there is we bought buildings, converted buildings, did management, and took over a lot of buildings. We created jobs. We created jobs and balanced a lot of budgets. 30 years ago, almost to the day, my company did the telecommunications for the Olympics in Lake Placid. What did we do there? We created jobs and balanced budgets. 5 years ago, my wife, Linda, and I started the Simon Foundation, which is a foundation to rescue animals who would otherwise be killed in municipal shelters. And in 2 weeks from today, we're going to be opening up what's going to be one of the largest municipal shelters, 36,000 square feet in Bloomfield, back in the 1st District. And what are we doing there? We're creating jobs. And we did it on budget. $4.5 million project on budget. We'll be creating employment for fine people in that area. So why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I can't sit on the sideline any longer. I have 4 young children, ages 7, 5, 3, and my first boy, 6 months old. And I can't let this happen any longer. There's one place that I believe that the unemployment rate should increase. That's Washington. The first thing we should do is send Chris Murphy home. He should be unemployed. And, by the way, he'll be without his pension. No 5 years. Okay. Now, the other thing about Washington, it's too big, it's too bloated, and it's too corrupt. What I'd like to say about earmarks, Sam's absolutely right. Earmarks are terrible, but let's call them what they are. They're bribes. I want to bring back newspeak, as we call it, to the vocabulary. Not phony talk. Earmarks are bribes. Washington is corrupt. We have to reduce the size of government. We have to make it more efficient. We have to change the culture down there. The congressmen and congresswomen down there have made it their careers. What they do is to enhance their own careers. It's self-preservation. They care little about you and me. They care about themselves. That's why I've taken the pledge for 12 years. I've also made a pledge here, which I'll ask everybody here to sign. I'm going to read it. It says, I pledge to the citizens of the 5th District of the state of Connecticut that I, if elected, will forfeit my right to collect a congressional pension. It is both an honor and a privilege to serve on behalf of the people of this country, and a congressional pension is just another example of unnecessary government spending. It's an honor and privilege to serve. You do your work, you come back. I'm going to ask everybody in the
Candidates, our first of 2 questions. Chris Murphy's name has been mentioned, so we will direct our attention to a statement he made in regards to a judge's decision to keep the Pratt & Whitney jobs in Connecticut. Chris Murphy stated, quote, Pratt did not bargain in good faith. It's time for Pratt to get serious about negotiating a deal with labor and government to keep these jobs here for the long haul. End quote. Yes or no? Do you believe that these sentiments will allow any company to maintain and increase employment in the state of Connecticut in this global economy?
Well, the short answer is no, but I have some experience about this particular question because I had some coffee at Dunkin' Donuts and happened to be next to the person who knew all the numbers on the Pratt & Whitney Cheshire plan. A mechanic with full benefits makes up to $140,000 at the Cheshire plan. And that those same jobs are being relocated, or will be after December of this year, at $40,000 to Shanghai. So you have to have a competitive environment which is business friendly, and you can't bully corporate CLOs that are making decisions based on good business principles. Thank you.
Candidates, as you know, the President of the United States about 2 weeks ago met with House Republicans in Baltimore, and the specific discussion seemed to center around health care. The President looking for the House Republicans' plan for health care. So if you were across the table from the President of the United States, what would you tell him about health care?
Yes, I would agree with Kai. With regard to bills that are over 2,000 pages, I think H.R. 3962 is 2077. I make my first pledge that anything that's that long, that's 3 times as long as the Bible and 3 times as long as Atlas Shrugged, should be immediately thrown in the garbage can. This healthcare debate is very interesting. We have the best delivery system in the world. Now, in Canada, unfortunately, I had a friend 1 week ago who was lying on a hospital bed waiting for an authorization to get a heart bypass. That person died 7 days ago. We cannot go to a Canadian system. We cannot go to a UK system. We have to try to repair what's wrong. We don't do that by destroying the house to fix the kitchen floor. You dealing with the issues that are in need of repair. We have to have catastrophic insurance across borders. In New York, you cannot get catastrophic insurance. You can here, but you can't in New York. We need to have higher deductibles. We need to have portability of insurance. But we don't need to destroy the house just to fix a very small portion. By the way, 10 million of the 30 million people who are uninsured don't want to be insured. They want to pay as they go. Is that wrong? In this country, we are still given the freedom to pay as we go for our services.
Thank you, Mark.